I know it's hard to believe, but spring is only 25 days away. And you know what? My bike will be ready. Today, we're shooting episode number, I think it's episode number 6. Today, we're going to drain the brake fluid from the T7 and put in some fresh stopping juice. So, this shoveling, let's go inside now and get it done. I don't know about you guys, but I am done with winter. So done. With that said, this is wrapping up with the Spring Fever Maintenance Series, and today we're going to dive in and take care of the brake fluid. I think it's one of those things that a lot of us don't think about or let go a little longer than we should. Most manufacturers recommend switching out or replacing the brake fluid every 2 years. So we're going to do that today. And I promise this is going to be a quick one. I promise. All right, so only a few tools are needed for this job, this task, and I'm doing what is known as, no, it's not what it's known as, what I'm calling the top-down method. I'm not sure if anybody refers to it as that, but I'm doing the top-down method. So I'm going to be opening up the master cylinder, and I will be draining the old fluid as I'm putting in the new fluid. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to get my JS screwdriver here. That's the Japanese industry standard screwdriver, and I'm just going to open up my master cylinder. Actually, before I do that, I have taken a scalpel and I've just cut a piece of paper towel just to cover the surrounding area, because as we all know, brake fluid can suck. So I'm just going to go ahead and undo the screws here. And I'm just going to slowly and carefully remove the top and the bladder inside. So again, most manufacturers recommend this is done every 24 months. Refer to your manual if you're doing this on a bike other than a Tenere 700. So just by looking at the oil inside, I've got a little bit of discoloration, not a whole lot, but I'm going to change it out because it's again, it's a simple thing to do and it doesn't cost much to do. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put my bladder back on, just to help keep the fluid inside the master cylinder. So what you're going to do, ideally what you want to do is you want to go to the furthest caliper first, which is going to be on the other side, because the way this works, the line comes down, comes over to the right caliper, and then it boosts back over to the left. So we're going to go around to the other side of the bike and start there. All right, so I'm over here on the left side of the bike, and I have my Billy Bee honey bottle, which I'm using to capture the old brake fluid. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to run this up through the top like this here to create a bit of a loop, and what this will do is it'll keep fluid in the line so that we don't reintroduce air back into the brake fluid when I'm pumping it. And I'm just going to take this bungee bobble here and just wrap it around the tire to hold it. Okay, so you're going to take a wrench and you're going to get it ready here just to crack this baby loose. What I'm going to do is I'm going to add pressure. I'm just going to squeeze the front brake reliever a little bit just to create a bit of pressure into the line, and I'm going to open up the bleed screw, and you'll see fluid starting to come into the line. And I'm just going to lock that, and I'm going to give it a little bit more pressure because it's not a whole lot there. It's an awkward angle. And then squeeze it and then hold in the brake lever, and you'll get more. And then lock it, and you're going to pump, 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 hold, and then release, lock it, and you're going to keep on doing this until all the fluid, not all of it. And that's another thing too here. What we want to do is keep a close eye on the actual reservoir, because we don't want the reservoir to actually empty out. So I'm going to give this one more pump, and then we'll take it up top and have a look inside the reservoir to see where we're at. All right, we'd have to just make sure that we don't drain this completely, because we don't want to introduce air into the system. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to continue to pump. Oh, good thing that paper towel was there. I'm going to pump it slowly. All right, so it's starting to go down. I'm just going to pump it up again slowly, and I'm going to open up the valve again. See, spitting out a little bit. Living on the edge, people. Living on the edge. Now you can also use a siphon and siphon out a little bit of the old oil from the master cylinder first, but for demonstration purposes, I'm just gonna do this fully from the top. So now that I've got the reservoir down to a point where it'll start pulling air in, I'm going to add fresh fluid into the cylinder, and you can see the color difference. So this one's very, very clear. So we'll continue to pump some of this through. I'm going to put the bladder back on top just to keep that from splashing out. And we're going to do this, we're going to keep doing this until we start seeing the color change. So after pumping it a bit more, you can see now that the clear fluid is coming back through. So we're at a point now we're going to switch over to the other side. So we're just going to lock that off and give it one more good pump, and then I'm going to lock it. And I'll just grab a paper towel. I'm going to pop off this here. Just keep this underneath here so it doesn't make a big mess. And I made a mess. And we'll just get that to drain down into the bottle. And then again, anything that's exposed to the brake fluid, I recommend that you clean up right away. Stay there. Okay, now we'll go over to the other side. All right, so back over to the other side. I brought the bottle over to the side. Again, I'm keeping a loop here so that when we lock off the, when we stop pumping, we don't get air back into the system. So I'm just gonna go ahead now. And again, I'm just gonna slowly pump this until there's pressure, and then I'll release the bleed valve. And then lock. And we'll just keep on going until this is clear as well. You can see it slowly climbing. Now we're going to do a check to make sure that we've still got enough fluid inside the cylinder. Take a look here. Yep, she's still got lots in there. That's good. Again, this procedure doesn't take a whole lot of time to do, and it's something that I think that a lot of us overlook and don't think about. Regardless of how many kilometers you've got on your bike, this is something that you want to do on a regular basis. And this is running clear already, so a couple more pumps and we're good. Okay, that's good. Clear is clear. So now what you're going to do again, I'm going to pop this guy off. Make sure I keep everything as clean as possible. Squeeze this. Let it drain down into the bottle. set this aside for now, and we'll give everything a clean. Gonna take this away here, have a look inside here just to make sure that the reservoir has still got the proper amount of fluid in there, and it's a little bit low, so I'm gonna top that back up right now. Again, you wanna make sure that you use the proper fluid. This is DOT4.4 by Bel-Ray for this bike. You wanna make sure that you check your manufacturer recommendation. Okay. That should do it. And you can see in the sight glass, nice and clear again, which is awesome. You can see over here. Nice and clear. All right, so I've got the fluid level all topped off. I'm gonna go ahead and put the lid back on the master cylinder and give everything a good wipe down after I'm complete. For the back brakes, it's basically gonna be the exact same thing, except you're using the brake pedal instead of a brake lever. So, very simple task to do, folks. Takes all of a half an hour to accomplish, and yeah, get her done. And don't forget to put your dust caps back on. Spring is not quite sprung, but it is soon to spring. And my bike is ready for the adventure that 2023 is gonna bring. All right, guys, well, that wraps up the Spring Fever maintenance series. For those that have watched the previous episodes, I thank you so much for watching. For those that are just tuning into the channel for the first time, it'd be great if you go ahead and subscribe and click that notification bell for new and upcoming videos. We'll see you all in the next one. Take care.